How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to Ilex Forest, and the wait is finally over. Temporal Forces is here on PTCG Live, and to celebrate, we are going to open everything that you get in the Battle Pass. I am very excited to finally get my hands on this set. I've been playing a lot in our now post-rotation format, and there are a lot of cool archetypes to play, so let's go ahead and get right into it. As you see here, the Temporal Forces Battle Pass, and we're going to go ahead and get the premium pass with the unlocking 15 tiers immediately. We are going to be doing all 50 levels today. So I hope you guys are excited for a lot of openings. We'll go ahead and jump here, 15, scroll all the way over here to 50, unlock 7,000 crystals. As you can see, not a problem here. There it is, tier 50. The battle pass is completed. So let's go ahead and collect everything. What do we all get? 76 packs of Temporal Forces. And it looks like a Raging Bolt deck, an Iron Crown deck. Getting 4 of those, 4 of the illustration Iron Crown. Also get some Iron Hands illustrations. A lot of cool things in here. So let's go ahead and collect our rewards. It'll take a second, I'm sure. It's got a lot to open. So we get 1,600 coins to start off, 500 crystals, 4,550 credits. Look at that Raging Bolt coin. That is very cool looking. As well as those sleeves. I thought the coin was cool. Look at that. And the deck box to match. A Raging Bolt hoodie, you know I'm going to be rocking that. Raging Bolt pants, shoes, the trucker hat, and you can get the full fit. Squawkabilly, Mew, 4th one of those, some Sandy Shocks, Iron Hands EX with that Amp You Very Much. The Iron Valiant EX, we saw a lot of success with that in our previous format. Hopefully it can continue to do well. Got some Miraidons with that Accelerating Peak. Raging Bolt EX, got 3 of those. 4 of that Iron Crown EX, and look at that artwork. So majestic with that Cobalt Command ability. And a lot of people are really excited for this card, the Raging Bolt EX, with that awesome illustrator art. So majestic. Some Iron Thorns, some Iron Valiants, Iron Crown EX, some regular arts, some generators, nest balls, pal pads, you know, all the little deck stuff, right? Research, boss orders, Ionos, stuff that we have plenty of. Future Booster, Sadas, Techno Radar, Cypher Maniac Code Breaking, Prime Catcher. Awesome that they're giving us an ace spec for free, and arguably the best one in this set, in my opinion, having that Guzma-like effect for those of you that played around in the Sun and Moon era, switching one of your opponent's bench Pokemon to the active, and then switching one of your Pokemon, switching your active Pokemon with one of your bench Pokemon. So very cool as an item. In the Reboot Pod as well, we're getting 2 ace specs, 2 of the possible 7. Alright, so we got 4 of the Cypher Maniacs Code Breaking. Very awesome in that full art. Some vacuums, bunch of basic energies. Got some Paldean Fates to open. You see here, can we get anything neat in this pack? Nope, just a Cyclizar. And then looks like Paldea Evolved. Anything in this pack? We do get a full art Chi UEX, which is pretty exciting. I'm pretty excited to play that in the Snorlax stall deck, which is supposed to do very well in this format. Another Paldea Evolved. Nothing too crazy yet, just a Slacking Hollow. I kind of want to get to the good stuff. Want to see them Temporal Forces packs, but we do get a full art Quavel EX. Not really competitively that great, but still cool to have. Obsidian Flames. See, is there anything I could want out of Obsidian Flames? I think I have all of my Charizards, so I don't need anything out of that set necessarily. Paradox Rift. And a Jirachi, very good. Kingdra, Wimpod, and a full art Sandy Shocks EX. That's pretty cool. But there is the Illustrator art one that I think I would rather play. Still a good hit, though. On to the next pack, Oinkalone, Paldean Student. Ooh, look at that. The Illustrator Palafin kind of has a Batman-like thing going on. Very Dark Knight-like. And a Toadscroll EX, so a double hitter pack. Awesome. Onto another Obsidian Flames. Nothing too crazy in that one with the Darkrai Hollow. On the next thing, Grumpig, Paldean Wooper. Hey, look at that! We got the Illustration Pidgeot EX. But as you can see, I already had 4 of those, so those will just make some nice credits for us to craft some more cards later. Opening up some 151. See if we can pull some Mews. Nope, just a Vileplume there. On to the next one, we have a Chansey, which I kind of want to make this card work, but it's very, very difficult. So you have to flip a coin for to even get its effect to go, and you have to also not have a full bench. I don't know, it seems like it's asking a lot, but the effect is very strong of that ability. Erica's Invitation, that's pretty cool. Another Paradox Rift pack. Reverse Gimme Ghoul. And a Hoopa EX. I've seen a couple Lost Box lists that play this Hoopa, so I might try it out. On to our next pack here. We have another Paldean Fates. A couple Paldean students with a Paldean Clodsire EX. What does this thing do? Once during your turn, if the stadium's in play, you can make your opponent's active poisoned. And then does 200 for Dark Double Colors, flip a coin of tails. This Pokemon can't attack. That's probably not super great. Go on to the next one. We got a Melodic, Cyclizar, and an Espathra. I saw an Espathra EX deck that played one of these, and I thought that was kind of interesting, so we'll see. Alright, here we have a Temporal Forces Collector Crate. This is guaranteed to have something good in it. Keldeo Reverse, Reverse Shaman, Gengar EX, Incineroar EX, which I'm very excited to have. The Full Art Walking Wake EX, that's a pretty cool full art. Another Full Art Walking Wake EX, and the Illustration Iron Boulder EX. I'm pretty excited to try out Iron Boulder in some of the future decks. It seems like a pretty good answer to Iron Hands. So yeah, I mean, it seems pretty cool. And on to the good stuff, the Temporal Forces packs. I have a Seedot, Chatot, Roserade, Bianca's Devotion, and on the first pack, a Wook Trio EX Terastallized art. Not the most competitively viable card, but still a very pretty and welcomed one. On to the next pack. Just going to be blitzing through this a little bit. The Dunsparce with that Runaway Draw ability. Seen some Goldengo lists that play it. I think I also saw like a Tankaton deck that plays it. It kind of makes sense. Drawing cards is very good in this game, so. And we get a regular art Iron Boulder EX, so we have our choices. Noctowl, Hoot Hoot, got the whole family. Boxed Order. Chatot, whole bunch of birds. Rescue Board. Very good tool in this set, especially for those Lost Box decks. Now that we don't have Escape Rope anymore, that rotated out, unfortunately. And an Iron Crown EX. Let's go. Matang, very happy for that. Might try out a Dialga deck with that. On the next pack, Morty's Conviction is very cool supporter. And we get another Terrassalize art for Rigorap EX. This is a little bit more playable than the Wug Trio with that Armored Tail ability. Prevent all damage done to this Pokemon by attacks from your opponent's basic Pokemon EX. So Charizard can still get around this. However, things like Roaring Moon EX, they can't attack it with the... they can still attack it with Frenzied Gouging, but the other attack would not be able to damage it. However, if you put the new Mist Energy on Farigiraf EX, prevents the effects of attacks, and you can basically make yourself completely immune to Roaring Moon EX. That's pretty cool to get. Might try one of those decks out. Relicanth with that Memory Dive. This is something that we're definitely going to be playing in that Incineroar deck. Very excited. On to the next one here. Get that Chinchino, our new main attacker in Lugia, with that special roll attack. 70 damage times the amount of special energy cards attached to this Pokemon. Obviously, with that Archeops and that Primal Turbo is going to be swinging for pretty big numbers on just a single prize at Stage 1 Pokemon. And finishing that pack out with a Feraligatr. Nothing too crazy. Rabska. And our first Roaring Moon. Well, I believe we got some in some of the free decks that we got. But Roaring Moon with that Vengeance Fletchling attack, 70 plus 10 for each ancient card in your discard pile. We featured this card on our Deck Labs video, Ancient versus Future, and this is a very strong attacker. On to the next pack. Another Iron Valiant, Birch Grubbin, and a Whimsicott, so nothing too crazy there. Get a couple Rockruffs, Zeraora, Centiskorch, Bronzor, and a Torterra EX. Now, I'm kind of on the fence about Torterra EX. You have the Grottle as a Stage 1 with its ability, the Sun-Drenched Shell. However, Torterra EX, while yes, it only attacks for a single grass, your max damage output is only 180, and that limits you to only playing grass Pokemon, so I feel like it's just not doing enough damage, but you have a lot of support in the Stage 1, so I'm kind of on the fence. On the next one, get another Iron Hands. Master Ball. So we get another Ace Spec here. Search your deck for a Pokemon, reveal it, put it into your hand. We saw the deck that won the Champions League in Japan. That Lugia deck played a Master Ball as its Ace Spec of choice, so very happy to pull that. On to the next one. We have Explorer's Guidance. You look at the top 6 cards of your deck, put 2 of them in your hand, and discard the other cards. And another Iron Crown EX. Moving forward. Whole lot of nothing, except for the Koraidon, which is another decent attacker for that Ancient Box kind of deck. This one allows you to kind of hit harder in the early game, where the Roaring Moon is better for the late game. So being able to balance those attackers at the right time, I think is really going to be what makes that deck successful. Or it could also hurt it. If you're left with only being able to attack with that Koraidon in the late game, your damage output is just not that great. So let's see what we got here. Another Mudbray, another Electivire, and a Miraidon with that Peak Acceleration attack, the main attacker for those future box decks, especially in the early game. Another Matang with that Metal Maker ability. Very excited. Slugma, Macargo, and Dunsparce as our holo. Great Tusk, this is actually not the Great Tusk we want. We want the other one that mills the top 4 cards of your opponent's deck. So hopefully we pull one of those pretty soon. Duosion, Heavy Baton. Now, in Japan, one of the decks that made top 16 at the Champions League was a future deck that was very heavily focused on Iron Hands EX. The deck that everyone is talking about, this Heavy Baton, was almost made for Iron Hands EX. If the Pokemon this card's attached to has a retreat cost of exactly 4, is in the active spot, and is knocked out by damage from an attack of your opponent's Pokemon, you move up to 3 basic energy from that Pokemon to your bench Pokemon any way you like. This allows you to kind of recycle, or not recycle, but it allows you to conserve that energy for your other Iron Hands EXs, so you can keep saying "and you very much" throughout the entire game. Sawsbuck and Cutie Fly illustration. This is really cool artwork. That water looks so realistic. Very, very photorealistic water. That's so awesome. And another for Alligator. On to the next pack. Nothing too crazy, but we do get a Raging Bolt EX. So always hyped to see that. Rabsco with that Spherical Shield, prevent all damage from and effects of attacks from your opponent's Pokemon done to your bench Pokemon. So this is kind of like Manaphy and Jirachi in the same card. However, it is a stage 1, so it's a little bit harder to set up, and your opponent can just kill the Relor before it becomes a Rabsca. So, is this better than Jirachi and Manaphy? I'm not entirely sure yet, but I guess the meta will see. And our first regular art Walking Wake with that Azure Seas. Damage is not affected by any effects on your opponent's active Pokemon. So this would get around the Farigiraf EX, being a basic EX Pokemon. So got another Heavy Baton and an Iron Valiant. Let's see. And speaking of Farigiraf EX, we get another Grassalize art. So you can bet we're definitely going to try that out. Pineco Reverse and another Relicanth. I believe Relicanth also got an illustration rare in this set, so hopefully we pull one of those. Cypher Maniac Code Breaking. Cool. And a Melmetal. Pushing a little forward. Reverse Licky Licky and a Whimsicott. Reverse for Alligator, reverse Roserade, and an Iron Thorns. I kind of want to see Iron Thorns be a deck, but I want to see more ways to recover those future cards back into your deck so you can Destructo Press more often. This kind of is reminiscent of the Kyogre that we had in Celebrations, I believe, where you discard the top 5 and you do more damage. This seems like a very late game attacker. Might have a place in the Lost Box, but at the same time you need to have a bunch of future cards in there. Hard to say for sure. On to the next one. Got a Reverse Sandy Shocks. What does this one do? 20 plus 70 if I have 3 or more energy in play. That seems not too bad. And another for Alligator. We seem to be pulling a lot of those for Alligators. And we get on our first card of the pack a Bronzor illustration rare. I did not know that you could actually pull illustration cards as the first card in the pack. So that's a pretty new experience for me. Salvatore. Rabsca Reverse. Another Roaring Moon. And a Brambleghast. Moving forward, Arbok, Bramblin, Fortress, Deerling, Totodile, and another for Alligator. This is our 4th or 5th one now. For Alligator just wants to chill with the homies. Airy. This is an excellent supporter that I am looking forward to a lot of decks playing. It's very disruptive. Your opponent reveals their hand and you discard up to 2 item cards you find there. So against, say, Charizard specifically, you play this card and they were hanging onto a rare candy in their hand, well guess what, it's gone. And that is a severe tempo swing in your favor when you're forcing Charizard to not be able to evolve. So very strong supporter here. I fully anticipate Snorlax to play 3, maybe 4 of those. But other decks should play 1. Chinchino, reverse, very cool, and a Bramblegast. Scyther, Shroomish, Shiftry, Mightyena, another Heavy Baton, and Macargo. Okay. Awakening Drum, so another A-Spec getting the, although it says traded for 150, so maybe we got one from one of the free decks, probably the Raging Bolt deck. So, yeah, draw a card for each of your ancient Pokemon in play. Very strong card. And another Miraidon. Sizzlipede, Electabuzz, Unpheasant, another Electivire, Yamper, and Mildew. Womp womp. Another Airy. And another Roaring Moon. Awesome. Meltan, Roly-Poly. Another rescue board. Definitely need multiples of those. And Gouging Fire, the EX. This is our very first one with that Blaze Blitz attack, doing 260 damage, and then this Pokemon cannot use Blaze Blitz again until it leaves the active spot. So, very interesting wording on that. Usually we would see, like, this Pokemon cannot attack next turn, and you would have to switch it out and switch it back in to be able to use it again. So it's kind of the same, but worded differently. On our next pack here, another Metang, our third one of those. So we get one more of those and we can put that deck together. Salvatore. Hand Trimmer, that's a new one. And another Iron Valiant. Hand Trimmer is going to be a very insane card, especially against control decks, where they can't just sit on a huge hand anymore. So we did hit another Awakening Drum there. And we have another Collector's Crate. So guaranteed to get some good hits here. Where we have a Perilous Jungle, an Arbok illustration rare, a Koraidon EX, a Full Art Airy, a Full Art Scizor EX, and a Gold Gouging Fire EX. Look how awesome that is. Gotta love those collector's crates. I think you only get maybe like 2 of those in total over the Battle Pass, so that might be our last one. I thought they might have been saving those for last, but we'll take it. Let's see here. Nothing too crazy in that pack. Melmetal, unfortunately, just not very good. Grafrigs, Perilous Jungle, and that Melmetal is back again. Morty's Conviction. Yeah, I was talking about this one a little bit earlier, whereas that you can only use this card if you discard another card from your hand, but you draw a card for each of your opponent's bench Pokemon. This is very good in something that wants to get cards into the discard pile. Things like Gardevoir, you could discard a Psychic Energy and draw a whole bunch of cards, and I've been playing Gardevoir since it came out, and I know there's one thing Gardevoir likes to do, and it's draw cards, so Morty's Conviction is an easy inclusion here. And Melmetal strikes again. Turtwig. This is the brand new Turtwig for these Forterra decks. With that Solid Shell ability, this Pokemon takes 20 less damage from attacks. So it is kind of the optimal Turtwig to play. Unfortunately, there aren't any Turtwigs that have 70 HP or less, so we can't use that Buddy Buddy Poppin'. Little unfortunate, kind of hurts the consistency of it. So it's one of the rare instances where having too much HP is actually a detriment. So there's that mist energy I was talking about. Slap this on a Farigarath EX, and it becomes just completely immune to a Roaring Moon EX. Completely walls it out. Another Roaring Moon and another Miraidon. You know what's surprising is that we've yet to see the whatchamacallit, the Great Tusk. One that mills, so we might have to end up crafting those. And we pull another Gouging Fire EX. It could be a decent inclusion in Charizard. So you have a Fire-type attacker. Pulling another Walking Wake here, cool. So that you have a Fire-type attacker. Since Charizard EX is weak to Grass, having that Fire-type attacker to answer the threats, so could be included there. But although I might see decks just stick to like NKV, since they could also just use Forest Seal Stone. Get another Macargo. Onto our next pack here. Get the Drillbur, another Macargo, and a Drampa. Bianca's Devotion. This is a supporter that I don't think is necessarily very good right now, but it could be good later. Kill all damage from one of your Pokemon that has 30 HP or less remaining. Yeah, I'm not really sure where this is good right now, but I could see this being good later. We might just need to see some support. And a regular art for Farigarath EX. Let's see what we have here. Reverse Deerling and another Dunsparce. Ekans, Colossal, another Whimsicott. We've pulled a couple of these now. What does its ability do? When you evolve into it, you can heal all damage from your active Grass Pokemon. And if you do, you discard all energy from that Pokemon. This could work pretty well with the Torterra EX. And just be a more tanky deck. So I might try Torterra EX again with this. That could be pretty interesting. Breloom. First Macargo and a Trampa. Delmise, Roserade, another Whimsicott, and a Fluttermane. This is actually our first Fluttermane. With that Midnight Fluttering ability, as long as this Pokemon's in the active spot, your opponent's active Pokemon has no abilities except for Midnight Fluttering. So, this is pretty solid against Lost Box. If you have Fluttermane in the active, then your opponent can't Flower Selecting, they can't, if they have Cramorant in the active, they won't be able to attack for free. So yeah, this is pretty good against Lost Box. And also being an Ancient card helps fuel the Ancient Box deck, so it kind of serves multiple purposes here. Another Explorer's Guidance, a couple Bronzongs, and a Feraligatr. Pushing through. Another Iron Thorns. Victini. Another Roaring Moon, and Iron Boulder EX, so that's our second regular art. Haven't seen any Iron Leaves yet, though. That's one that I kind of want to pull. Another Illustration Arbok. And a Scovillain EX. Not the Grass EX I wanted to see. Another Airy. Bolt, Iron Valiant, Pikachu, and another Koraidon. Lycanroc, another Miraidon, and another Fluttermane. Alright, so we're kind of in our back half here, pulling those Fluttermanes. Would like to see an Iron Leaves, another Hand Trimmer, and a Full Art Scizor EX. We pulled one of those earlier. I'm not sure if I'll make a deck with that. But if you guys want to see one, let me know in the comments if you'd like to see a Scizor EX deck. I will absolutely make one if you guys want it. Another Whimsicott. And there we go, look at that, that Cinccino Illustrator art. That's so cool looking. I never really took the time to check out that art. That's so cool with the Mr. Mime looking through the window, the substitute plush doll. That's cool art. And another Fluttermane, awesome. One more of those and we'll have our playset. Iron Crown EX, cool. Maximum Belt. So I think we have all of the ace specs now except for the Neo Upper Energy. Yeah, this is probably like the next best ace spec in the set. Next to after Prime Catcher. Attacks used by the Pokemon this card's attached to do 50 more damage to your opponent's active Pokemon EX. So this allows like Arceus to hit for 230 after having a double turbo attached. Also allows Giratina V-Star to hit 330. So those are just very relevant numbers. Heavy Baton, Rapidash, and another Relicanth. Meltan. Oop, clicked a little too fast though. Didn't see what that was. And another Feraligatr. On another Rabsca, Colossal, another Sandy Shocks, and Koraidon. Third one of those. Our second reverse Koraidon. So we do have a playset just in mismatch arts. We do have our first Wugtrio EX regular art. Again, not the most competitively viable, but still pretty neat and appreciated. Another Morty's Conviction. This completes our playset of that. And we get a reverse holo as well. Few packs left to go here. We got 7 left to go. Another Miraidon, Skateboard, and Macargo. King, Slugma, Buddy Poffin. This is actually the first one that we opened from a pack, but we did get some in our decks earlier, so don't have to worry about those now. Will we see the Iron Leaves? I believe. But instead we get the Illustrator Excadrill. Oh, and there it is! The Iron Leaves! I asked for it, and you shall receive! There it is, with the Rapid Vernier. When you play this Pokemon from your hand onto your bench during your turn, you may switch it with your active Pokemon, and if you do, you may move any amount of energy from your other Pokemon to this Pokemon. On to our next pack here. We do get our 4th Metang. So you best believe you will see the Dialga V-Star deck coming. Another Incineroar EX. We need, I believe, just one more of those, and we can put that deck together. As we're closing in on our last few packs, let's hope we get some bangers. Perilous Jungle, Bianca's Devotion, Iron Valiant, and our Rareism card. This is our last pack here. I believe that Cinccino, Litten, Ponyta, and Relicanth, completing our playset there. So, all in all, we collected 662 cards, 1,600 coins, 500 crystals, and 13,330 crafting credits, and check it out. the awesome collection of what we pulled today. Absolutely awesome. Let me know what you guys thought was your favorite pull from this video. Let me know what you guys think of the video in general. Your feedback is always greatly appreciated. I know it's been a little bit since I've uploaded content, but it's because I've been waiting for this moment here, waiting for this set to finally go live on Pokemon TCG Live. Very excited to show you guys some awesome content. I have been brewing tons and tons of decks here at the house. My locals, they've been kind of my guinea pigs for testing a lot of these decks with these Deck Lab videos, and I hope you guys have enjoyed those as well. But anyways, guys, that's gonna do it for me here today. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. If you're new to the channel, welcome. Don't forget to hit that bell for notifications. Like, subscribe, you know the gist. Anyways, this has been an awesome video. I've been waiting to make this video for such a long time. And yeah, thank you guys. We'll see you guys next time, and thanks for visiting the Ilex Forest.